Peace, light, and love. Welcome to my vlog. Today we're in a little bit different setting. So, רוצה להיות בvlog? This is the wonderful Igor. Say hi, Igor. The nicest man in Tel Aviv. Okay. So, vulnerability. Some of us may have made a decision that no one was ever going to hurt us again. We may automatically go on feeling freeze-mobbed when faced with emotional pain. Or we may terminate a relationship the first time we feel hurt. Hurt feelings are part of life, relationships and recovery. It's understandable that we don't want to feel any more pain. Many of us have had more than our share. In fact, at some point in time in our life, we may have been overwhelmed, crushed, or stopped in our tracks by the amount of pain we felt. We may not have had the resources to cope with our pain or take care of ourselves. That was yesterday. Today we don't have to be so frightened of pain. It does not have to overwhelm us. We are becoming strong enough to deal with hurt feelings. And we don't have to become martyrs, claiming that hurt feelings and suffering are all there is to life. We need only allow ourselves to feel vulnerable enough to feel hurt when that's appropriate and take responsibility for our feelings, behaviors, and what we need to do to take care of ourselves. We don't have to analyze or justify our feelings. We need to feel them and try not to let them control our behaviors. Maybe our pain is showing us we need to set a boundary. Maybe it's showing us we're going in the wrong direction. Maybe it's triggering a deep healing process. It's okay to feel hurt. It's okay to cry. It's okay to heal. It's okay to move on to the next feeling when it's time. Our willingness and capacity to feel hurt will eventually be matched by our willingness and capacity to feel joy. Being in recovery does not mean immunity from pain. It means learning to take loving care of ourselves when we are in pain. Today, I will not strike at those who cause me pain. I will feel my emotions and take responsibility for them. I will accept hurt feelings as part of being in relationships. I am willing to surrender to the pain as well as the joy in life. So, I'm wearing my Shivananda t-shirt. And Shivananda Yoga has really helped me personally be able to take time out and be able to process what's going on with me and not have the knee-jerk reactions. Let me tell you, that hasn't been overnight. In fact, I'm still in the process. And sometimes the triggers do cause me to react, just like the dog before. Certain triggers, such as feeling a lot of chaos, or when I deal with people that have a very different way of behaving or dealing or having a very different attitude than mine, when I clash with people, completely different way of looking at life, I do sometimes react. For instance, I do not like when people scream or use verbal violence, and it triggers in me a lot of pain from the past, having lived in environments that were verbally violent or physically violent, to be honest. So there's always the trigger, but in order to feel empowered, we need to learn to protect ourselves, surround ourselves with protective energy, and to go with the energy, to be able to channel the energy towards us, towards healing, towards building things in our lives, towards our plans, our goals, our dreams, and not take that energy like the wind and throw it to other people who frankly do not appreciate that and may not understand the place you're coming from. That's the point. When you get angry at people for being verbally violent or triggering in you all kinds of things, first of all, they don't know the past. They might not, most of the time they're not aware of their behavior at all. And what they will do, they will probably just throw it back to you. Instead of accepting it, they'll just throw it back to you, which is what people do when faced with something that's unpleasant. They just throw it back to you, and then you have this going back and forth. And if they have a position of power over you, such as an employer, you're stuck and you're going to be at a loss. So what I suggest is be very selective about the environment you choose, the sort of people you interact with. It says it in the Bible, in fact, that do not sit in a place where there are fools and bad company. There's also an expression in French that it's better to be alone than with bad company. So be very selective about the people, and therefore you will be neutral. Once you select the sort of people you surround yourself with, you also will not have the triggers. Because if you're with people who trigger in you reactions because they are very violent verbally, they're very loud, very aggressive, you're not going to be able to say, okay, I'm in my own little bubble. Because we do get influence. Our skin can be thick or thin. Some people are more influenced. Other people don't feel it anymore because they have a thick skin. Some people have thinner skin. They react more. However, select the company you keep. And the second thing is work on yourself. Continue the yoga or spiritual work, whatever it is. Meditation is amazing. Start with 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day meditating, just sitting, focusing on your breath, and in a quiet place. Nature is the best. If you have a flowing river, that would be perhaps ocean, flowing river, anywhere where you see flowing, places that is not stagnating. And those are the tips for today. And about being vulnerable, remember it's a strength to be able to show your vulnerability, and a lot of people don't see it that way. They see it the opposite, that hiding vulnerability is a strength. But once they have those layers, and if you can see, remember we talked about men being like an onion, I mean mankind, also women, being like an onion. So when you have to hide all your layers, it creates a sort of defense mechanism, and it doesn't allow you to be in touch with your emotions. And that can be a problem when dealing with emotions. That you feel an alienation, like who am I? What am I? So, certain cultures promote that. Most cultures actually. That's what I liked about America. You know, you meet people, it might be artificial, people just talk about themselves, in the East Coast anyway, Woody Allen land, but revealing, exposing yourself is not always healthy. Depends on how you do, how you go about it. Which is where art comes in, writing, painting, drawing, singing, music making, all, did I miss anything? Sculpture. Any form of creativity can be very good for getting in touch with your emotions and showing your vulnerability in a safe space. Don't forget that has to be a safe place. Shusha. Okay. Peace, light, and love from this wonderful place, and wishing you all a great day where you accomplish what you set to accomplish. Or just sit and think. Today is my thinking day because I'm still congested, so I took a day off work, and I'm just thinking about it. It's sometimes better to take a day off work than to quit work altogether. That's what I've learned. So it's good, small steps. Anyway, thank you for subscribing to my channel and for listening. And if you haven't subscribed, down below there's this subscription button. And thank you for listening to me, and I would love to hear your comments. Peace, light, and love. Have a good day.